Welcome to From the Den podcast, providing Bears and NFL fans alike with compelling news, discussion, and debate. I'm your co-host Benjamin, joined alongside my dear friend and co-host Oren.
Hey Benjamin, let's get right into it. As always, kickoff starts now.
But looking back, around 1 year later, how would you grade the Jordan Howard trade?
Like an actual letter grade, or just discuss it?
Just discuss it. I think that's all.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I think it was a good trade. I mean, like I said, running backs don't have a lot of value. Originally, to be honest, I never really loved Jordan Howard. I didn't understand why he got so much hype. Wow, like he was putting up good numbers actually, but I didn't see what made him specifically special. He had good vision or something from the scouting stuff I saw. But, I was really a fan of, this is when I was younger, so I might have been like blind to some
Langford?
to the clear details. Yeah, I love Jeremy Langford. Like, I'm just saying I never really saw the Jordan Howard's star potential or his just greatness, even though he did make a Pro Bowl. So yeah, I was still a little taken aback when it was for a 6th rounder, but now having understood how invaluable running backs are, they get traded for low picks all the time, and that the Bears are able to acquire a guy like David Montgomery that I do really like, and I think that he's very versatile and he has great vision. I like this trade in the end. It's not like a significant trade at all. It's just kind of like getting rid of him. But, I think it was smart that they got rid of Jordan Howard for what Matt Nagy was saying. So, yeah, I am a fan of this trade.
I look back at it, I'm not happy with the trade.
Oh, wow, okay.
For the sense that I don't think Jordan Howard was great. He didn't fit into their offense. But
Right.
They need their running back cheap. They signed Mike Davis, who can catch the ball, but he's worse than Jordan Howard at running. And they ended up cutting him. If they kept Jordan Howard, even though they would have been a bit predictable, they could have used him behind Montgomery. He could have got 7, 8, 9 carries a game. They could have utilized him in the role that I was discussing, what they should get for their team now. And I think that if you really look at it, the Bears David Montgomery would have been better. Matt Nagy would have felt more comfortable running the ball if they had 3 good running backs. Matt Nagy would have felt even kind of forced to run the ball if they had 3 good running backs, or 2 good running backs and 1 running back who he likes.
Well, I mean, it's not. He would have felt forced to run the ball. It's not like, oh no, he would have had some say in the acquiring of those players. So it's not.
Of course, but I think that if they kept him and still drafted Dave Montgomery, I would have been very happy because they could have utilized him in a position where you use Dave Montgomery as, I know it sounds crazy, even though he's a big back, you use him as more of a versatile.
Well, it's also a money issue, especially if you're talking a few years down the road when
contract. So
I know you said rookie contract, right? It kind of cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was saying a few years down the road, especially, I guess a lot could be different by then. But if David Montgomery's out of that rookie contract or Jordan Howard wants an extension, that's hard to maintain long term. So I think it's smart what they did, that just getting rid of Jordan Howard and bringing in a new guy.
I agree, and I think paying running backs is I don't like paying running backs.
Tedious.
I think that it's easy to acquire running backs, and even though running backs are very important in my opinion, I think that you can easily draft one or trade for one, or now with a lot of stuff, and you don't need to spend a lot of your money on it. But I will say that the Bears, I would rather the Bears have a Jordan Howard for 1 year than a 6th round pick. What is that 6th round pick going to do?
Yeah,
I guess he plays for 4 years, but it's very unlikely. Even though Ryan Pace is good at drafting late, it's unlikely that he'll have an impact like Jordan Howard did.
Okay, something I realized, when you're directly comparing Jordan Howard to a 6th round pick, it doesn't seem like a fair trade because, this guy made the Pro Bowl, blah, blah, blah. But if the Bears had just directly waived Jordan Howard, somehow, at least in my mind, or I feel like to other people, it seems so much fairer. It seems like, okay, that makes sense. They needed to get a different guy. And that logic doesn't make any sense because the Bears, even if the 6th round pick isn't more valuable, it's obviously better than just waiving him.
Exactly.
So when you put it in that context, that it's not about the value of the 6th round pick. It's just recognizing that Jordan Howard wasn't very valuable in the first place. And the fallout of that was acquiring David Montgomery. And I think through the trade, they generally improved their running back position.
I think through the trade, I think that the Bears would have been better in the running game if they kept him. And I think that I get that you can't compare a 6th round pick to him. But what I'm trying to say is that Jordan Howard in 1 year is more worth for the Bears than a 6th-round pick. Because even though Jordan Howard wouldn't have been the number 1 running back, he would have been able to elevate their game. Because not only would Tariq Cohen had to take less carries, because he's not a real formal running back. I would rather have Jordan Howard take the carries. I'd rather have Jordan Howard not split it, but take a few less carries than David Montgomery.
With like my logic that I was saying earlier, like, do you think, like, tell me honestly, do you think that you would be so pissed off of the Bears to just waive Jordan Howard because you keep comparing it to the 6th-round pick thing?
I mean, I wouldn't have been happy at all. No, I would not have been happy. No, because the sense that why would they waive him? What are they gaining from it? They want to get a new running back. Why not trade him? They have no trading. If they know people to trade, he's better than most players that you're the last people that you're keeping on your 53-man roster. He's better than Ryan now, who's on the 53-man roster. He's better than a lot of these players, and these players need to be able to. Then you have to be able to compare and say, if you're paying him very little, you're paying him a 5th-round pick salary. That's nothing.
Well, no, it's not about you're paying him blank salary. Like I was saying earlier, of course, if Jordan Howard was on a lesser salary, then they might stick him around, because it's a money issue also. And even if it wouldn't be an issue in the first year, if you're trying to look at that long term, eventually the rookie that you draft, because if that was a scenario that you were saying, eventually the rookie that you draft is going to want more money and blah blah. Like it's not going to work long term with a committee with Jordan Howard in it.
If you enjoyed this episode of From the Den, please remember to subscribe, comment, and like this video.
Or, if you're a Packers fan, remember to dislike and leave a nasty comment. Click the links on the screen to access additional content.